All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Kantech webinar series on the Tyco Cloud portal for mobile credentials. On our previous topic on Tyco Cloud, we were talking about what are panel-based and panel-less readers, how to deploy the readers, more on the hardware side. Very simple, easy, and pretty cool, actually. So if you missed any of that, we'll be covering very little of this today because it's part of the same topic, obviously, same product. But you can visit us at YouTube at the Kantech Access Control or Kantech Webinar series playlist, and you could see all those videos that we have recorded and available for you. So you can watch us here. Okay. Now the so there are two types of readers that are available out there, as we talked about. There are panel-based ioSmart readers and panel-less based ioSmart readers. Now, before we talk about everything else, I just want to make sure everybody remembers that it's only one type of reader physically out there. It's how we physically deploy it on the reader, on the wall, and how we deploy it that makes a difference. So it's the same reader. As integrators, you only need to carry one physical reader for this. A panel-based ioSmart reader offers mobile credentials. So they're viewed like regular cards if you really want to, and programmed in EnterPass the way you want. A panelless based system doesn't really have a card, has a unique identifier. But in basic terms, it's a unique number that the iPhone or the Android carries in it, so we know who's who. Doors managed by EnterPass in the panel-based setup, and when we say by EnterPass, it's by the controller realistically, because as we all know, the controller decides everything that happens in EnterPass. All right. So the main differences here are panel-based with mobile credentials and panel-less with no controller using mobile smart keys. Rob, is that pretty clear for you?
Works for me.
Excellent. So let's go through some terminology because some of the words are changing between Tyco Cloud and EnterPass or any access control system out there, realistically, right? So I made a small chart to best describe what this means. Now, a mobile credential is actually a card holder. It's actually a card number. So when we say mobile credentials, we mean a card holder card number. Mobile keys themselves don't have a card holder. Any reason why, Rob? Because they don't have a software. Spineless mobile keys don't require EnterPass, right? A device is considered a reader, and a device ID is the serial number. Now we'll get back to the serial number in a few minutes because the serial number / device ID has slightly changed in the Tyco Cloud. The templates are somewhat loosely configured as access levels via / access groups. So if you don't know EnterPass, well, a template is where we connect a bunch of doors together with schedules, and instead of giving a card holder a particular set of doors every single time, I can give you something called a template or access level. In the Tyco Cloud, it's a bit of mix between both an access level and a card access group. A location is very simply a site. If I have 10 buildings, I will have 10 locations. A location is really an address you type in, and that's your building site location. I did put site connection in EnterPass. Depending on the software you have, you may be using it differently, but it's really the actual building itself. And the settings field is actually the customer. That is who you guys are. It's your account. If you compare this to a cloud software, which it is, because it's called Tyco Cloud, obviously, you can have multiple customers. Therefore, every customer is considered an account. Right? So I might be sometimes mixing both terms, but they mean they're very similar to both products. So here's a chart that I've made that explains the hierarchy of the entire platform, right? So it's very simple. We have a dealer slash partner section. The dealer and the partner section is where you guys, as integrators, can log in and manage multiple accounts, multiple customers, right? If you have a company, that's an account, a customer account specifically. If you have 10 companies, you have 10 accounts. Now, if each company has multiple offices, it's still one account, right? With multiple locations. So the dealer himself is the integrator like yourself, and you guys can log in through the Enterprise Manager portal. It's a dedicated link that we give you where you guys can log in and manage your own customers. Okay? And then the customer or yourselves can log into the CloudView portal, right? And perform your changes. As an integrator, when you log in, you'll be able to manage one account at a time. So you'll be able to see all the accounts, but log in and manage that specific account. Under that, we have our locations. So there are 4 pillars here. Now, they do intertwine, obviously, but there are 4 main pillars. The biggest one out there is the locations. That's your sites. And under your locations, you have your devices, which are your readers for specifically. And in there, you have the type of reader you can choose from between a panel-based or panel-less reader. Then we have the whole concept of I'm mistaken, schedules and so on, because you have your schedules if you want. You have your little settings, your subscription that lets you manage your system, all the extras. And then we have our credentials. Our credentials, another big pillar of the account, is the mobile credentials that are going to be used by the system, our card holders, and our mobile keys for our panelless readers. Then we have our templates. Very simple. And if you notice on the interface, I'm going to show you in a few minutes, everything shows up in a straight line and looks very nice. Similar to this. How do the credentials work before we get to the live interface? Well, it's very, very simple. When you make a new account, before you do anything, every new account gets 2 mobile credentials and gets 2 mobile smart keys. What does that mean? Your first 2 seats are included with the package. So if you want to test it out, play around with it, you make yourself an account and you can start using it with the 2 first mobile keys and or smart keys depending on what you want. And then one of the really cool parts, I'm going to show you guys in a few minutes, there are increments. You can add more seats in packs of 10. So if you have 20 employees, you don't have to buy 100 seats. You simply buy how much? 20 seats of whatever you need, and you're done. One of the really good parts of all this is that the seats are reusable. What does that mean? If I have 20 employees and 10 of them win the lottery, how many employees do I have left? I have 10 left. When I hire 10 more employees, right, I will now have the ability to reuse those existing seats for my new employees. I don't actually lose them. They are not one-time use. If you like to buy the newest iPhone over and over and over to have the exact same features every year, you're in luck because you won't be charged for extra mobile credentials, even though you change your phone every so often. Pretty cool? I think that's a good advantage. There are 3 ways of purchasing mobile credentials. They are the ability of purchasing a 10 pack of mobile user. It's a bundle. So it's a bundle up here that we purchase. You can buy a 10 pack of both. So you get 10 mobile credentials and 10 smart keys. The concept is here is if you have 10 people that need access to both, you buy a bundle of 10, which gives you 10 mobile credentials and 10 smart keys. In theory, 10 people would have access to both types of doors. Now, the difference here is if you really want, you can give these 10 credentials to 10 people and then give 10 mobile smart keys to 10 different people. So the bundle here is a huge money saver because yes, you can bundle them together for one person, or you can use them completely separate if you ever wanted to. Or you could simply buy 10 mobile credentials or 10 smart keys. One of the benefits here is if you only have panel-based readers, you just simply buy panel-based credentials, which is the mobile credentials seats. You don't need to buy smart keys, making it very, very cost efficient now because you're not paying for both. You simply pay for one of them. It is billed annually or monthly to your liking, as you wish. So you can say I want to add in packs of X, in packs of 10, and it will give you a total number of prices. So it depends on if you buy a bundle or if you don't, you actually get so many keys. One of the cool parts is if you bought for a year and halfway through you buy another 6 months, you buy another 10 credentials, the price will be different because your end date will stay the same. So therefore, it makes it very easy for you to purchase because your end date stays the same, but your price of the card will drop because you're only paying for the amount that you're using. So, for example, if you have um, 6 months left, obviously it's half the price of a full year because 6 months in theory is half. So therefore, you pay half the credential, and then in the when it renews, you'll get the full price for the mobile credentials. Now, there are different layers of billing, monthly and annually, I was just saying, but also there are security levels in the software that are built in based on your level. If you're an integrator or a user or an administrator, you could or could not see the mobile subscriptions and the pricing and so on. For example, in my example, I'm an administrator, therefore a dealer, let's say. I can see the mobile credentials for my customers. Whereas a power user, an administrator of the account, the end user, cannot see the mobile credentials. It's all configurable through the security levels that are predefined in the Tyco Cloud portal because we don't want users to see this, for example. Okay, so let's go to our interface here. Let's go look at it. So I've already logged into my interface, and the interface looks like this. So I have my default when I log into my interface, I've logged into CloudView as my account. I've already logged into a specific account. And I get to see if I want all my 4 doors. I have a panelless base door. I like to always put a proper name, but I want to make sure it was clear as panelless. And I get to see my doors themselves. If I had any kind of transactions, they would appear here. So one of the cool parts is I get to see my transactions that are happening. In a panel-based environment, it's not so important the events and the transactions. But in a panel-less environment, it becomes very practical because now the events are sucked out of the reader into the phone and uploaded to the cloud so you can run generic reports. Now there are some customizations and you can view your individual doors and you can even build custom views if you want. You could make a peripheral of all your views only if you want. Just give me the outside doors of all my buildings or give them to me by buildings. You could build your custom views. On the left, you have a bunch of information on your account and your settings. We're going to go to the settings, which is the most popular one. Under my settings, I have some key information in here. The first thing I can do is add a new device. When I hit the add new device, I'm asked to add particular cameras. In this account, I do have a camera privileges, but I also have the ability of adding mobile access devices, that's readers. And it's very, very simple. I enter the name of the reader, for example, Acme back door, and then the serial number of the reader. Every ioSmart has a serial number of a reader. Now, if I enter the serial number of the reader, it probably will not work by itself. All new readers in production have an extended serial number. It's a 4-digit code with a dash. And this is the serial number you got to enter for it to actually accept it. That's all new readers in production. All existing readers in production that you've bought for the past few years, don't worry, are still supported and working. You simply have to call our tech support and they're going to give you the last 4 numbers. It's kind of a checksum, a verification of the serial number to make sure it's good. And then we choose a type of reader we have, the panel-based or panel-less reader. We even put mobile keys, mobile credentials to make it less confusing. Notice when I choose panel-based, I don't have any choices because in a panel-based environment, 99% of the choices are made by the access control system. There's no access levels, there's no unlock time. It's just a regular Wiegand or RS-485 reader. So in my configuration, I'll choose between the range of the BLE that I want. So I do have a BLE range, and that's pretty much all we care about. In a panel-less environment, this is where in a panel-less environment, we have the ability of configuring more settings on the door. We have the ability of putting it fail secure or fail safe, the unlock time, and the door contact and recs. All this information is actually stored on the phone. We just when we get to when the first person gets in front of the reader, it will tell this reader, now you're panel-less or you're panel-based, and if you're panel-less, here's all your information. We also have a unlock schedule on a panel-less reader, but it's only available on first person in. So it's 8 to 5, and if somebody shows up at 8:10 when they swipe the card, it will actually swipe the door and unlock it on the schedule. Okay. And again, we have the BLE range from short, normal to long. The range varies per phone and device and environment because every phone manufacturer makes it completely different. Mostly the Android, because they're made by different companies, they're different, whereas Apple is somewhat consistent on the length. The feet will vary. So long can get probably 20, 30 feet, probably more, and then normal is maybe 5, 10 feet, and then short is probably 2 feet or so. Okay, it all depends on the phone. It all depends on the environment and so on. But long is pretty long also. Okay. And then I save my reader. So I've added the reader now into my location also where it belongs. So I save the reader. And now under my locations, I get to see, sorry, under my readers, I get to see my readers. Under my locations, I can add a location. A location is basically a site. It's nothing crazy. It is how you name your site, what time zone you're in, what city, and so on. This will pinpoint where everything is. A lot of the information here is useful for cameras, but for the readers, it's good to have also. Now, I'm just jumping ahead a bit here. I'm going to go to my credentials, where I can program my mobile credentials. Under my mobile credentials, I can add a person. I already have them. I'm going to add a second one here. And I put their last name and first name, right? I add the primary location. Where are they primarily located? I add your phone number. This is actually very important. This will determine on the Tyco Cloud Enterprise Go Pass mobile application how you log in. So I'm going to put my phone number, this one here, and I'm going to put my email address. So my name, my last name, my primary location. Again, that one doesn't really matter because if you have 20 locations, it will take care of itself. But we need to know primarily where do you belong for future developments. And then we can actually assign a template. A template looks like an access level. I will give you the employee template. Under the employee template, I already have 3 out of the 4 doors. My 4th door I haven't given. I have the Acme door and the panelless door. Notice carefully that the 2 first doors are panel based because also the schedule doesn't work. Whereas the panel-less door, the schedule works, and I could say your phone only works from 8 to 5. And then I can save it. Now, the really cool part here is that I can customize a template. Whereas in Enterpass, when I give you an access level, the access level is as is. You have to give a different access level if you want to remove or add a door, unless I'm using the exceptions. The templates here is I give you a template view, but then I can remove a particular door from the list. Then I press save, and the mobile credential already exists. Now, I already exist in here, so notice carefully my mobile credential already exists, and it actually gave me a mobile access key. This is the ID of the person that is given, right? So 2001 is the facility code we see in Enterpass. So 2001:00100. So like in Enterpass, we enter the last 5 digits of the card plus the facility code. The 2001 range is dedicated to the Tyco Cloud mobile credentials. And what did we learn with smart cards and XSF and SSF is that these numbers are unique, right? So there's no duplicate. The next person will get a new serial number, a new sequential one, and so on and so forth. So we never use the same number twice. We want to make sure every phone gets their own mobile credential for that particular user. And from there, they can use their Enterprise Go and follow the steps the steps, download the application, and pair their phone to the mobile credential. The phone is very important. It's going to ask them to create an account on their phone with a password that they can move, change around as long as they keep the same number. So if they keep the same number, they could just download Tyco Cloud and transfer their account themselves with their password on their phone. If not, we could delete them and reissue them. If we notice carefully under my settings, I've used a mobile credential user and I've used a mobile smart key seat. That's the panel based scenario. So I've used both in this particular case. Even though I have one user, because I have access to both devices, it takes both. Now, if I go and remove one of my panel list, let's say, there you go. I press save. When I go to my settings, notice that this mobile keys will be available for me. Don't forget that most users don't know the difference. They don't really care the difference between the reader, the panel based, and panelless. To them, it's a reader that they tap on and they start using. All right. And depending on who you are, if you're an administrator, you can actually see the subscription, how much you want to purchase. You can buy them in packs of 10. The key part here is that they are sold in packs of 10 and not packs of 100. Makes the transition and entry into this very easy. Granted, if you have 300 users, buy 300 of them, hit the number 10 times, you're done. Whereas if you have 20, 30 employees, your cost up front is much smaller than others that sell at higher numbers. Makes life a lot easier, right? So that's the Tyco Cloud portal for CloudView to manage your mobile credentials. You guys can join us in the future in the July and August webinar series. We'll be offering more on cloud to help you guys understand it better or need more training. In the meantime, please visit us at youtube.com under the Kantech webinar series or Kantech Access. We have plenty of videos on various topics. And I hope to see you guys next time. Thank you. All right, guys, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the question portion. Rob and I will definitely be helping out with the questions. I see there are some interesting questions that were asked. Very good stuff. Hopefully, don't forget, if you have any questions, guys, please ask them in the question portion, and we'll definitely be answering them. If you want to see any kind of demos, please feel free to reach out to us or your local rep or Tyco Cloud rep. Can the end user manage themselves, or does the integrator have to manage this for the end user? So, Tony, I assume you meant the mobile credentials. That's when I saw it pop up. The mobile credentials, as we said before, and I'm sure it was based on that, the mobile credentials rights are managed by the integrator, and you could say that he only sees certain things. For example, he cannot see subscriptions, nor can he add new readers, for example. So based on your security rights, you see less. The feet in the so I hope that answers your question. So what is the ranges in feet? That one is hard to calculate based on phones, but long is a good amount of feet. Like I said, probably 30, 40 feet, easy, and no more than that. I mean, so like probably in the 50 feet, and then the medium is the normal is probably in 20 feet or so. So I don't have an exact number for that for you. Can you reuse the two demo mobile credentials or deploy them to an end user? It's per account, so you could do whatever you want with those credentials. Every account gets two mobile credentials included. So basically, your credentials you issue them to the end user, to yourself, it doesn't really matter. The next batch you buy, you're gonna get 8 though. So the first 2 are free, but when you buy mobile credentials, the two of them license wise go away. So you don't buy the first one. You don't buy 10. You buy 8. Right? Hope that answers your question. Do the templates need to match the card types in Enterpass? Not really. The templates do not need to match card types. That being said, they need to match access levels. For example, if a credential here has access to a door, if I gave you these doors, the panel base in both of them in this case, on Enterpass Go Pass, when I tap the door and I have access to it, it's gonna send the card number. Now, because it is panel based, the controller has the final say. So it's gonna generate a card bad access level or an invalid card. Because yes, you have access to swiping the card, but it doesn't mean you have access to getting in, because the Kantech controller has the final say. So if you want them to both work, you need to have access here and into the mobile in Enterpass. In medium to small size systems, you can give access 24/7 to all your panel-based readers, the panel-based ones, for all users. Now they're gonna have to find the door in the list, but it makes life easy because you don't have to double think who has access to what. You leave that managed by Enterpass, and if they click the wrong door, it's as if they swiped it on the wrong reader. Hope that answers your question there, Tony. Anybody else? And Steve, can you use a Tyco Cloud mobile key with panel-based access? Yes, of course. You can use it. how you can use whatever you want. The Tyco Cloud mobile keys. Well, it's a trick question here. Tyco Cloud mobile keys themselves are for readers with no controllers. So there is, if you have a panel-based reader tied to an access controller, your mobile keys are automatically converted to mobile credentials. So in the subscription portion, you'd buy, depending which one you need, you'd buy mobile credentials or mobile keys, depending on your exact need. But to the end user, it's completely transparent to him. He doesn't know what's behind the reader, nor should he care. He wants to press the button, unlock the door. Hope that answers your question, Stephen. Correct, Tony. The mobile credential invite doesn't include the invite key, so you click on it to download it and to pair your Enterprise Go pass. It's still gonna ask you to create an account so we can have a backup restore process to your new phone if ever needed. So the credential link is there to download everything like Enterprise Go Pass. Even the Tyco Cloud does the exact same thing. Good questions. Oh, one more. Yes, so you have to use Go. So, do you have to use GoPass with panel-based access? Yes, of course. If you want to use Bluetooth credentials, you must absolutely use the GoPass. If you're gonna use regular Prox cards or ioSmart cards, you could definitely do that, and those are normal cards on the reader. So the reader will accept the mobile credentials from your phone, and it will work also off the plastic cards for the panel-based readers. Panel-less is phone only. Hope that answered your question, Steve. Steven, if not, just call me or email me and we'll take care of it. Yes, of course, everything's great question, Ahmed. Everything's encrypted, and the links are really one-time use. So if you ever get rid of a phone and you click on the link again, it won't let you because your account is now paired to the phone, and we need the password and everything to connect. All right, guys, I'm really happy with all the questions. I'll see you guys very soon. Thank you very much. And again, if you need a demo or anything, please visit your local reps. And if you don't know who that is, email us at cantechapps@tycoint.com and we'll get you in the right direction. Right. Thank you, everybody. Have a nice day.